So did Donald Trump cheat at a game of golf in Scotland? But he's actually there on a semi-official tour, a meeting with the EU, going through these tariffs, the never-ending tariffs, and they came up with a deal today, 15% tariffs on EU imports to the US. That's got some attention, but you could be forgiven for thinking he's there just to play golf, because that's what he seems to be doing quite a lot of. There was some pretty damning footage that leaked. We don't know where this guy had his camera, if he was in the bushes somewhere or from the clubhouse, but he had a couple of caddies with him and it looked like something pretty untoward was going on. Yeah, look, links courses in Scotland are pretty tough to play on. Lots of rough, the ball can end up all sorts of different places, but the fact that this caddy kind of leans over and it looks like he sort of discreetly tries to drop the ball just outside of the rough. He's just on the first cut of rough and then Donald rocks up and, look, nice, there's my ball. I would say the footage suggests absolutely yes. Perhaps the shot that he hit is way further into the thick rough. Maybe it's in the trap. We don't know. None of this is really explained, or I guess there's not a lot of proof, but the way that the caddy does it, it looks pretty shaky. He's very mad keen about golf. It's funny that he used to criticize previous presidents and say they shouldn't be spending so much time on the golf course, but he owns a bunch of golf courses, including in Scotland. We had a story at news.com a couple of years ago when he talked about being 190 centimetres and 97 kilograms, which weights that would, dimensions that would put him in line with Muhammad Ali in his prime and Tom Brady playing quarterback. And he also talks about the scores that he shoots on the golf course, which are never verified. Rick Riley famously wrote a book about him cheating at golf and how that kind of indicates the way that he leads his life, but people can make up their own minds about that. If you ask him, he says he's a very good golfer. We hear time and again about these club championships that he wins. They always seem to happen at his own golf courses. For a guy that plays golf as much as he does, and golf's a pretty public sport where people can get access to, there is not much footage of him playing golf at all. There was a very famous one that dropped of him playing in LA a couple of years ago where he's about 30 yards out and he just shanks it, he just slices it like we all can do on a golf course to about 90 degrees to the right. But according to him, he shoots phenomenal scores. To win that club championship in Bedminster, he shot a 67, 5 under par. It's a championship level golf course. He can hit a ball and he plays enough that you'd hope he can hit a ball. But I think it's a bit of a stretch with some of these numbers that he comes up with.